NHS annual staff survey results, which I hope will give you a bit of an understanding of some key highlights. The full survey results are available on our intranet, but this is a snapshot to help you all digest the results more easily. So I'm going to start off by taking you through the response rate. Now, this is something that I hope you all have seen before. This is the amount of people that have completed the 2021 staff survey. So our response rate was 47%. Now, in comparison to the year before, our response rate has been maintained. And actually, despite the multitude of environmental factors that we've faced, for example, COVID, the vaccine mandate, now this comes as no surprise. We know that completing the survey is not everyone's priority right now, and with the pressures our staff have been facing, but this gives us an opportunity because we do want a fresh look at the response rates going forward. The best way to improve the response rate is to move away from incentives. And I know we've had incentives before, but this drives the wrong behaviour. We want people to want to complete the survey because they can actually see things changing as a result. The staff survey should be a catalyst for change. And I want to draw your attention to this figure here. So actually the 47% translates into 2,602 completed questionnaires. And I also want to draw your attention to the median response rate. So for other organisations like us, the median response rate is 52%. So this is definitely something that we can improve on, and we'd like all of our colleagues across EPUT to really champion the staff survey in their teams to ensure all colleagues have their voices heard. So the next slide here is the overview. Now, from these set of results, you can see that the results do look different this year, and the reason they look different is because they have now been aligned to the people promise elements. So you can see each of these different themes here. You wouldn't have seen these in the year before results. Now, as a snapshot, you can see that these are a good set of results where we've actually managed to maintain our scores despite the multitude of environmental factors that we've faced. There's some really good things that we can draw out from this and celebrate. So if I draw your attention to staff engagement here and morale, and also we are safe and healthy, these have all scored above average. Now, this is something that we can take away as really positive. We are compassionate and inclusive. We are always learning. And we work flexibly, are in line with average. And as I said, as the scores have been maintained, having results that are in line with average is still a reassuring message. Now, the results are all also telling us some key areas of focus. Now, we are recognised and rewarded. We each have a voice that counts. And we are a team, are areas that we can really focus on moving forward. And I'll talk you through some of the stuff that we'll be doing in the coming weeks. Now, I've pulled together some key highlights because, as I said, we've got the people promise themes and the results as an overview, but I'm sure you're thinking, what does this actually mean? Now, there's lots of questions that make up each of these themes, and I've just drawn out a few to give you all a flavour of some of the key highlights. So we are compassionate and inclusive. So there's a question in here. I feel that my role makes a difference to patients and service users. Now, 87% agreed or strongly agreed with this question, and that's actually 2% above average. So with questions around compassionate culture, we can celebrate that people are fulfilled, and they can really understand how their day-to-day roles impacts on service users. The next one is we are recognised and rewarded. So this is a question on pay. So my level of pay, 31.9% were satisfied or very satisfied. And this is 6% below average. This is a low scoring score, But what I will say is in employee surveys, questions on pay are traditionally lower scoring. So this should be understood through that context. But this is, again, an opportunity for us at EPIRT to look at the overall benefits package for staff and for employees. We each have a voice that counts. So this is a question which says, I'm trusted to do my job. So 92.1% agree or strongly agree, and this is 1% above average. Now this is, again, a very positive story. We can celebrate this, that people, have autonomy and control, and this is a very high scoring question with 92.1%. We are safe and healthy. I'm able to meet all the conflicting demands on my time at work. 49% agree or strongly agree, and this is 5% above average. Now, this question is really important because it captures the context of how we are performing in comparison to other organisations like us. Yes, there are work and staffing pressures, but these are not unique to EPIRT. And actually, with this question, with other organisations, the average was 44.9%. So that's worth looking at that through that context and through that lens. We are always learning. This is in relation to the appraisal process. So it helped me to improve how I do my job. 25.2% selected yes, definitely, to this question on appraisals. And this was 5% above average. So this is a positive impact. And I know that the appraisal process was during the staff survey live period, it was not fully embedded, but there were lots of teams that were using the new appraisal process. So this is, again, something that we can draw out as actually staff members valuing the appraisal process and the impact it has on their role. We work flexibly. I can approach my immediate manager to talk openly about flexible working. 78.3% of people agreed or strongly agreed, and this is 1% above average. So again, a really good positive message for EPIRT. Conversations around flexible working with line managers is scoring very well, and it's a positive message for work-life balance as well. So we are a team. My immediate manager takes a positive interest in my health and well-being. 77.2% agreed or strongly agreed in reference to questions on line management. This is a positive message here that shows that through unprecedented circumstances and change, managers are showing resilience. Now, in my experience and working on lots of different surveys with other organisations, line managers often get a tough time. But here in EPIRT, it actually shows that managers are supporting and managing well through change. So that's a real positive for us to take away as well. Staff engagement. I am enthusiastic about my job. 72% selecting often and always, and this is 2% above average. So this is in relation to motivation. So again, we can see that despite the pressures our staff members are facing, they're still passionate about their roles and purpose, and we can really work on maintaining this going forward. Morale, I would probably look for a new job at a new organisation in the next 12 months. So 20.5% agreed or strongly agreed. So this is in relation to retention. It's a low scoring score, but for me, it's one for us to watch. It warrants concern. As you all know, we already have staffing level pressures within the trust. So this is one for us to watch. So I wanted to draw out a few other slides for you just to give you a flavour. So does your organisation act fairly with regards to career progression, promotion, regardless of ethnic background, gender, religion, sexual orientation, disability or age? So career progression with underrepresented groups is a real positive story here. As though it's below average, it's still a very high scoring question, and it's close to the best organisations. If you can see the gap between the orange and the blue where we are, there's quite a big gap there. So we want to be closer to the best organisations and quite far away from the worst. So we can see there's also a very positive trend from the last few years as well. So that's a real positive for us to draw out. This is another question I've pulled out. Has your employer made adequate adjustments to enable you to carry out your work? Now, support for staff with adjustments is again another great positive scoring question. We can see the trend data here to show that the positive work has taken place in the last few years to improve this, and actually really positive that we are also above average on this question.